The NFL has seen shifty backs, bruising backs, but no one ever combined the two quite like LaDainian Tomlinson. He didn't just make defenders miss, he made them question their career choices. You couldn't predict him, you couldn't hit him, and even when you did, it didn't matter, because LT was already in the end zone. In his prime, he wasn't just the best running back in football, he was the best player, period. Meet the touchdown machine, the ultimate do-it-all weapon, LaDainian Tomlinson. LaDainian Tomlinson was born June 23, 1979, in Rosebud, Texas. A small-town kid raised by a single mom who found his purpose early, through football. At just 8 years old, after watching Walter Payton highlights, he wrote himself a letter. "One day, I'm gonna be in the Hall of Fame." From that moment on, everything LT did was personal. In high school, he didn't just play running back. He played linebacker, punter, and kicker. He was a one-man football team. His coaches said he was the type of athlete you only see once in a generation. And in his senior year at University High School in Waco, he rushed for 2,554 yards and scored 39 touchdowns in one season. Still, despite those numbers, he was overlooked by most recruiters. So instead of heading to a powerhouse school, Tomlinson took his talents to Texas Christian University, and what he did there was straight up historic. As a junior, he rushed for 406 yards in a single game against UTEP, the most in Division I history at the time. Think about that, 406 yards in 4 quarters. He didn't just break tackles, he broke spirits. Then in his senior year, he led the nation with 2,158 rushing yards and 22 touchdowns. TCU hadn't been relevant in decades, but with LT, they were ranked and feared. He won the Doak Walker Award, became a consensus All-American, and left college with over 5,000 rushing yards. He didn't do it with flash. He didn't need the spotlight. LT just clocked in, punished defenses, and walked off like nothing happened. His work ethic was legendary. Coaches would say, first to arrive, last to leave. But with LT, it was more like he never left. Even in the offseason, teammates said he trained like it was the Super Bowl. Then came the NFL. The San Diego Chargers knew they had something special. They took Tomlinson 5th overall in the 2001 draft, and from day one, he was already the best player on the field. He racked up 1,236 yards and 10 touchdowns as a rookie, but he was just getting started. In his second season, he added another 1,683 rushing yards, 79 receptions, and 15 total touchdowns. He wasn't just producing, he was redefining the position. From 2001 to 2007, Tomlinson wasn't just great, he was untouchable. Over 1,100 rushing yards every single year, at least 50 catches in 6 straight seasons, and 20 or more touchdowns 3 years in a row. He was a fantasy football god, but more importantly, he was a real-life nightmare for defensive coordinators. And then came 2006, the single greatest season ever by a running back. Tomlinson put up 1,815 rushing yards, 508 receiving yards, and 31 total touchdowns, a record that still stands today. 3 games with 4 touchdowns, 7 games with 3 or more. And yes, he even threw for 2 touchdowns that season. He broke the touchdown record in just 14 games, then smiled and jogged off the field like it was just another Sunday. He was named NFL MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, First Team All-Pro, and he led the Chargers to a 14-2 record. He became the first player ever with 1,000 rushing yards and 100 receptions in a single season. But for LT, the numbers never told the whole story. He had the vision of a quarterback, the hands of a receiver, and the mindset of a linebacker. He could do it all. By the time his 11-year career was over, LT had 13,684 rushing yards, 4,772 receiving yards, 145 rushing touchdowns, and 162 total touchdowns, third most in NFL history. But it wasn't just the stats, it was how he did it. He could run around you, run through you, or leap over you. He was smooth, explosive, and completely unpredictable. Even when defenses knew he was getting the ball, they still couldn't stop him. He was also a leader, the type of player who made everyone around him better. Younger teammates said just watching LT prepare made them elevate their game. He didn't have to yell. He didn't have to talk trash. His game spoke loud enough. And unlike most backs, Tomlinson aged gracefully. Injuries didn't slow him. Bad offensive lines didn't stop him. Even in his 30s, he was scoring double-digit touchdowns and leading his teams, on and off the field. When he joined the Jets in 2010, many thought he was washed, but LT proved them wrong again, rushing for 914 yards, catching 52 passes, and helping lead the Jets to the AFC Championship game. In 2017, LaDainian Tomlinson was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, a moment he predicted when he was 8 years old. What set LT apart wasn't just what he did with the ball, it was how completely he understood the game. His footwork was elite. His balance was freakish. He could shift directions in an instant, disappear through a hole that wasn't even there a second ago, and explode into daylight like he'd seen the play before it happened. He was ahead of his time, a prototype for the modern back. He could run inside, bounce it outside, split out wide, block in pass protection, and even throw a touchdown if needed. Tomlinson wasn't just a weapon, he was the whole arsenal. And unlike many stars, he never made it about himself. There was no showboating, no drama, just professionalism at the highest level. After retiring, LT didn't chase the spotlight, but it found him anyway. He became a studio analyst for NFL Network, where his calm demeanor and sharp insights made him a fan favorite all over again. Off the field, he launched the Tomlinson's Touching Lives Foundation, focused on education, mentorship, and uplifting underserved youth. His impact reached far beyond the game, and it continues today. They called him LT. They called him the scoring machine. But most of all, they called him a nightmare. LaDainian Tomlinson wasn't just a running back. He was a highlight reel, in cleats. And no matter who you rooted for, you couldn't help but watch him work.